Welcome back to ALPB Roundup. We got a lot to talk about with some weird weather, some weird results, some weird partial games getting played, so we'll dive right in. It's worth mentioning that I used to work there, so I followed the Wilmington Blue Rock social media accounts pretty closely, and I noticed that on Thursday night, their game in Brooklyn was postponed due to fog, and, that's an interesting one. It's not quite, an artificial mound situation, but it's definitely a weird one, so I noticed that. But then fog goes ahead and causes havoc further in New York Atlantic League world, where Staten Island's game against Gastonia had to be postponed. They'll play two today. They expect to see, or I would expect to see, Julio Teheran and Jordan Simpson for Staten Island against Gastonia's John Anderson and Riley Hovis. Maybe. Who knows what they're going to do with it. Doubleheaders get weird. But elsewhere on Long Island, the Ducks grabbed a 1-0 win over the High Point Rockers when their game was called due to that fog after just 6 innings. So the only run this one came from a wild pitch, super odd result. Justin Nicolino, there we go, got completely hosed on this one for the Rockers. He takes the loss in the game where he threw 6 innings, allowing just 1 run. It was on a wild pitch and gave up 4 hits. Did all that, 6 innings of work and 69 pitches. Nice, first of all. Second, he mixed those pitches really effectively. Led with a curve, bounced with a 4-seam, a change, and a cutter. It's a tough result for him. On the flip side, Brett Kennedy pitched great for Long Island, obviously. 5 2/3 shutty, striking out 8 for Long Island. Sandy De Leon, he stumbled into a save. Got the last out of the 6th inning. They're like, yeah, good for a save at this point because this game is done. Shut it down. Long Island improves to 8-10 on the year. They're still 7.5 behind Southern Maryland in the North. High Point has now lost 3 in a row and 4 of their last 5. Keep an eye on that. They're 2 games behind Gastonia in the South. They're both racing to stay in that race in their respective divisions right now. Expect to see the Rockers' Jason Manzueta probably against, I think, Akil Morris probably for Long Island today. Both rotations are a little tough to follow right now with some weird scheduling over the past week. Speaking of partial games, the Genomes and Legends continued their Tuesday night mound-interrupted debacle last night. The Genomes finished their first, I guess would make it, of 3 straight wins over the Legends, 7-2. In the regularly scheduled Friday game, now just 7 innings long, by the way, that game would open with Kevius Sampson on the mound for Legends. He's a new addition, taking on Nate Pedden. Chris Shaw, he kept the Genomes' momentum going with a first-inning RBI double that would score Riley Mahan. Chris Shaw added an RBI single in the 3rd before Legends' offense stirred to life. In the bottom of that inning, Courtney Hawkins doubled home Boog Powell, and then later in that 3rd, a pass ball would score Jose Brasinho and tie that game at 2. In the bottom of the 4th, Tillman Pugh singled home Montreal Marshall, giving the Legends the lead, and that was enough for the Legends bullpen. They delivered 4 scoreless, 1-hit innings. Austin Adams struck out the side for his 5th save of the campaign. Winston Lavendier, his ERA is now a paltry 1.93, the big lefty getting it done. Good for a 159 ERA plus. Winston coming from Cali, way to get it. Sorry if I jinxed you, Winston, by the way. Obviously, I've got a bad track record here. I jinxed Riley Mahan, had a tough day yesterday, right after I jinxed Bryce Hensley the day before. So maybe I'll shut up from now on, but probably not. Only base runner reached on a 3rd strike wild pitch for Jeff Johnson tonight, and worth noting, he struck out 4 in 2 innings of work. So Jeff Johnson looking good in the Legends pen as well. Pugh, Hawkins, and Boog Powell all had 2-hit games for the Legends. Felix Pie and Chris Shaw did the same for the Genomes. Robbie Ross came in for 2 scoreless innings of work and relief. He looked good. Expect to see Aaron Blair for the Genomes today against J.J. Hoover for the Legends. In Waldorf, Southern Maryland looked to stay hot against the Dirty Birds. Derek Adams gets the ball for Charleston against the Blue Crabs' Mackenzie Mills. The game went scoreless into the bottom of the 4th after back-to-back strikeouts from Adams. Jared Walker tripled. David Harris doubled Walker home, and Alex Crosby doubled home Harris. In just 7 pitches, this went from a great outing to a 2-0 game with some turbulence. Scott Bertram, he homered in the 6th to get one of those runs back, but what happens when you're down to Southern Maryland and you get into their bullpen? Say it with me. That's right. You have a bad time. Bradley Roney, Enrique Brasinho, and Pat Baker finish this out, and the Blue Crabs win it 8-2. Mackenzie Mills goes to 2-0. He allowed 1 run on 4 hits over 6 innings of work. He struck out 6 in the process. 7 batters on each team managed to get in the hit column, but Southern Maryland was able to convert those into 8 runs, thanks in large part to an 8th inning Zach Collier grand slam. The Blue Crabs have the best record in pro baseball right now, I believe, at 16-3. They lead the North by over a week already. Despite a solid outing from Derek Adams, Charleston falls to 11-9. 4 games behind Gastonia in the South. Expect to see Jordan Stevens for Charleston, probably against Daryl Thompson tonight. The Revolution and Barnstormers met in Lancaster for another 3-game set. Lancaster swept the first series within the rivalry this year. The Revs' Jorge Martinez took on the Barnstormers' Niall Ball. The Barnstormers worked a run across on an Andretti Cordero single in the first inning. That is all the offense that Jorge Martinez would allow. He goes 6 innings, allows just 1 run on 5 hits, Ks 8. Jorge Martinez get after it. Niall Ball, he opened the game with 5 2/3 of 2-hit shutout baseball. I love Niall Ball. I'm a big fan of the guy. But that would be all the outs that he would get on the day, because a Melky Mesa and I believe it was a double and a Nelly Rodriguez walk would be followed with a Carlos Franco 3-run bomb. Tommy Shirley then entered in relief but fared no better, allowing 2 doubles and a Lennon Rodriguez homer. All of a sudden, York had a 6-1 lead just like that. York proceeds to win 8-3. Elmer Reyes and Melky Mesa kept up their early season starts for the Revs. JC Encarnacion had a pair of doubles as well. You really need him to get going in York in that lineup. While Adrian Almeida, by the way, rolled in throwing 98. I saw him. I didn't catch he was throwing gas, but the man's throwing gas. Scoreless 8th inning from Almeida. Andretti Cordero brought home all 3 Barnstormers runs, but that's a bat that while that is a bat that they need to keep contributing in the middle of their lineup, they're going to need more offense than just him to get it done. Expect to see Nick Travieso for York against Cameron Gann for Lancaster tonight. And that's all the action we've got. We've got the doubleheader with Staten Island. I think we have 6 games on the books today. It's been a long time since we just had a straight-up 5-game day with no oddities, but someday, right? Until then, I'm Ryan from ALB Roundup. Check it out on Twitter, check it out on Instagram, and I will talk to you probably Monday recapping the Saturday and Sunday action.